Good morning.
Morning.
It's a Manchester derby, that kind of changes things, but I know after the first game a lot of people thought, well, it's dead and buried, but there seems to be almost a different feeling going into the second game, perhaps because of the time between the two.
Well, it looked like it was over at half-time, because I have to say the second part of that first half, they outplayed us for a while, and it's hard. But then when we got the goal, of course, you're back in it. We hope for another one, but now we've got to go into the memory bank and think PSG, because we've done it against good teams before, and it gives us some hope. And the game in December, of course, gives us hope that we can do something there.
I know scoring 2 goals isn't easy. Is the bigger challenge, though, stopping them from scoring?
Well, it has to be a perfect performance to win with 2 goals against such a good team away from home. So for us, it's not about away goals, or we just need to score 2 more than them. So when they happen and how it happens, if we concede 2, we need to score 4. So it'd be good not to concede first, because that makes it less difficult.
I know it's risking wasting a question asking about Bruno Fernandes and just smiling already.
Yeah, you're wasting it. So don't ask it.
Well, is there anything positive? I mean, I know City is more important as a game, but in terms of game personnel, is that going to happen?
I haven't got any updates for you on transfers. Yeah, I think it was a waste. I gave you the option, but no, I haven't got anything to say now. So my mind is just on the game.
You guys having to think outside the box, though. January is a tough window. If you are to do a deal, you're having to think a little bit differently.
Well, we've got players here that we're working hard to get back as well, and if there is something out there, then the club are pursuing that and looking at it. And of course, it is difficult. It's a difficult window, has always been. I can't remember how many good ones we've brought in good deals that we brought in January. You know, Henrik was good, Nemanja and Patrice, they were two good ones. Henrik was alone. Sanchez, I'm talking about. It's hard. It's very hard, because some of the clubs don't want to lose their best players. So Alexis will come back in the summer and prove you all wrong.
What about outgoings? Is that going to be? I mean, Marcus Rojo, he hasn't played for a while. There's lots of talk about him. Is he one possibly leaving?
I wouldn't think so. Marcus has been injured and he's been working to get back and get fit again. At the moment, it doesn't look like it, no.
And the squad looks all right heading into this game after Brenton?
Just Nemanja that got a slight problem, so he had to come off at half-time, and he's played loads of football. So hopefully we can get him back on the pitch tomorrow. I haven't seen him yesterday, so.
You talk about, obviously getting players back. Is there anything positive that you can say about the likes of a Pogba? Obviously we know Rashford's recently injured, and McTominay. Anything at all out of those 3 that you can put a time scale on?
It's hard to put time scales on injuries, and long-term injuries, because they also need the training before they're injury-free, and they need to be match fit or fitter to be able to play. Paul's had his cast off, and Scott's had his braces, took his braces off. So at least now they can start doing some work on the grass soon.
You just mentioned before, obviously about needing a perfect performance against Manchester City. I mean, obviously the fans have had a couple of good days at the Etihad in recent memory. Obviously, December the 7th was a special day for United. But how do you replicate that now? Are you in better shape now to go there and do that than you were then?
Well, they're getting players back as well, and they're getting. I think we hit them last time when they were struggling a little bit, and since then they've really played well. For me, it's of course we've lost Scott and Marcus since that game, so of course we're a little bit lighter in the player department. But we need a performance too. But we can't just defend. We have to go out there and try to keep the ball as well and make them run after the ball, which isn't too easy because they're one of the best pressing teams as well. So, as I said, perfect performance it has to be, but we've done amazing things before at this club, and these players, and the PSG game is for me a very, very good example on how you can make a 2-goal deficit work in your favour, because we need the first goal.
Ollie, I know you don't have to worry about FA Cup replays now, but I just wonder what your thoughts are on some teams. Obviously, will have to now play during the winter break, and particularly, obviously, Jurgen Klopp's stance that he's going to put out his youth team.
Cup replays, I think we all regret maybe not going for it in 2000 when we went to the World Club Tournament in Brazil, and it's never nice not to be participating. At least they're participating. It's supposed to be a break, and if we're going to help the English clubs, they need a break. But that's up to Jurgen and Liverpool to make decisions. Jose and Tottenham, they've got a replay. So we're just happy we didn't get a replay ourselves, because it was playing on our mind as well, that what's going to happen if. But then maybe 3 days less holiday.
In 1999, when you won the treble, did you ever have those worries about if we go so far in all competitions, it will jeopardise the one we really want? Or was that never in your mind?
Never in our minds, and definitely not in my mind, because I love the FA Cups, and I could play games, and I played in the semi-final, in the final. So when you've got a big squad, it's a challenge to win all them 3, and we did, and that's it's always going to be down in history as the greatest season that an English club has done.